Well, I mean, we can't, worry about how it's scheduled. Um, we've seen it back-to-back nights. The defensive side of the ball has not been there. And we can say, hey, we're tired. It's an excuse. It's, but I'm not buying it. We have to do better. Um, they came out early, set the tone. They were the more aggressive team. And then we didn't take away any of the strengths that we talked about. The paint, the transition, the offensive rebounds. We paid the price for that. So it's our overall defensive disposition, specifically in the last two games. Second half, against the Lakers, and it really stands out. First half tonight, and it's one of those things that we can control that. Now, whether they make shots or not, our approach on that end of the floor has to get better.
Was the approach, was it a question of energy, focus, discipline?
I don't know if it's one specific area. The discipline, of course, is part of it. But you at some point you have to accept that challenge, and they're playing with a level of freedom right now that and comfort that's unacceptable. And we have to help them, to give them something to go to, but just our overall pride on that side of the ball isn't where it needs to be. Yeah, I mean, he saw his first one go in. He's really been struggling from the 3-point line. I think under 10% over the last 5 games or so. Then explodes for a big night, and it's not for, you can't let a guy just kind of ease into it, and then start getting more and more confidence. He had a heck of a game, 44 points, and really kind of spearheaded their offense. So we got to, lock into a guy like that and not let him get going. I would assume. I mean, obviously I wasn't here, but we look at him as a shooting big. He hasn't been able to kind of get a rhythm, in and out, in and out. So I think that's part of it. But at some point, I think it'll come back. I think it always, you find your level. But right now he hasn't had a ton of opportunity to do that yet.
Certainly, your team has gone through a tremendous roster turnover. So it's like you guys are almost starting a new. But at the same time, do you figure the defense will be much further along?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not something schematic. It's, some of the same issues. We talked about the one-on-one containment. There's no scheme for transition defense. You can say, okay, well, let's take care of the ball. We can do that better. But when the shot goes up, there's no, scheme to say, hey, you got to be here, you got to be here. It's just an effort, a focus, a level of communication that takes care of that. So those things I think are controllable. Some of that is just the want, the care, and the urgency. And right now we're not seeing it. Well, it's easy to say, hey, it's just the starting group. It's everybody. You don't let a team score 120 plus points on just one unit. I think everybody got a taste of it, and I thought, to their credit, we did a decent job of battling back, in the second half. I think cut it into double digits. I think got to 7. So gave ourselves a chance. Maybe ran out of steam, with it being a back-to-back, but it should never have gotten to that. I mean, we shouldn't have to, kind of dig ourselves out of those type situations.
Did you enter the game intending to go with a particular rotation stance that you did with Daniel? Was that the plan heading into the game when you mapped out how you would substitute?
No, I think, the game kind of takes a life of its own, and you're kind of reading the flow. The unit that was out there, I thought was, especially in the second half, was better. So I let him run a little longer. I thought TB had a great stretch. Sato had some good minutes ish. Corey. So, you kind of run with that unit that kind of chipped away at it. But, they can't run the whole half. So you have to make subs and try to balance that, platooning those guys in and out. But you want to try and keep it as close as you can.
When a young player has 3 games in a row where he struggles, and I'm referring to Danny
Mhm.
in this case. Do you and your coaches do anything differently to try to lift that player up because he's young, rather than if, say, the guy were a veteran?
I don't think you have to do anything different. I think you always have to, try to uplift guys if they're struggling. I think it's more impactful at times when a young player, but that's part of it. The guy's struggling, you have to kind of figure out why. And sometimes it's just one of those things they have to go through. It's, just like the season has ebbs and flows, so does your individual season. And he's got to help aid in his own recovery. If that's more being a little bit more disciplined with his KYP, locking into some of the game plan stuff, um, you know, find a way to get a better rhythm. All that we can help him with, but he's got to, help do that as well.
Chase.
Hey Wes, you guys have lost 6 out of the last 8, and I'm just wondering what's the process like with the young players who are showing positive signs, kind of teaching them how to learn how to win?
Well, I mean, it's hard to win in the NBA. It's hard to win a game, and just stay in your play, I think, is a very important lesson. We've shown that at times, and I think it's important to not only harp on the things you can clean up and teach, but also reinforce some of the good stuff. When we play the right way, or let's see it. It's not always, beating them down and say, hey, we didn't do this, we didn't do this, we need to do this better. Here's examples of us doing things that we've talked about and doing it at a high level.
Christos.
Hello, coach. Hope you're doing well. Speaking about the defensive effort on tonight's game for you, what is the biggest difference than the games in Los Angeles for you tonight? It was the aggressiveness, it was the approach. What did you see as the biggest difference tonight?
Well, sadly, it's some of the same issues. The paint defense the other night in LA was a problem. And once again, we saw it again tonight. And some of that was, the transition, the one-on-one containment, shrinking the floor, all those things we've kind of harped on. We just have not yet seen carryover. And I think that's important, moving forward, and it's regardless of the scheme, regardless of the initial action, when plays break down, can we stand in front and guard our guy? Do we show a physical presence, behind that, and we always say, trust your help, don't rely on it. Right now we're doing a lot of relying, and that's it's not a good recipe.
Thank you very much.
That's it, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it means a lot. Had a big family section there and a lot of other people that, I don't know who support me. And so it was really nice to hear that. It sucks that we couldn't win. That's kind of what I wanted for the cherry on top, but kind of that silver lining is going to be really special for every year I come out here, no matter where I'm playing.
How do you, as a young player, kind of deal with not just the overall ebbs and flows, but kind of these low moments and making sure you're focused on your mind?
No, that's exactly it. It's probably one of the biggest adjustments I've had to make coming into the NBA. Dealing with these low moments, you kind of learn from guys who have been there and done that. You learn how to kind of shower games off, take the good things and learn from the bad. Mistakes are made a lot throughout the course of a season from everybody, but it's only bad if you don't learn from them. So being really critical, looking at yourself in the mirror and, learning from mistakes is kind of a habit you have to develop. 35. Yeah. That's friends and family, but yeah, 35 in my group. Most came from the Seattle area, some from Spokane, a few from Central Washington, Yakima, Washington. And then I have a few family members also that came from Central Oregon. Yeah, I mean, they made a lot of tough shots. I mean, when a guy like Josh Hart gets going, it's hard to stop him. He made a lot of really tough ones, and when you see those guys, when you let those guys see the ball go through the hoop early, it's tough to stop. So our defensive effort, especially at the beginning of the game, we gave up about 40 points in the first quarter. It was an uphill battle from there. So we got to come out better, come out stronger with more of a, more of intensity, especially on these second nights in a back-to-back.
Last night it was kind of maybe the issue of taking more pride in your defense. Where do you feel like the team is at in terms of that?
Totally. I mean, we all can do it, 1 through 15. Absolutely. And everyone's not going to doesn't need to fix the same thing. Everyone's got different weaknesses and strengths on the defensive end of the floor. And if everybody gets, 2 to 5% better, we're all going to be better as a unit. And our defense we've proven that our defense can be really good when we care about it. And, all of us across the board got to make an effort to be better.
Both you and Rui seem to be hitting a really high clip on 3-pointers. How do you feel about that playing with him?
Oh, it's been awesome to see. Rui's been doing it for a long time now. It's been about a month and a half where he's been really shooting the ball well. And it's great to see that confidence that he has in his game. Everyone knows what he can do in the mid range and at the rim, but adding that third layer is really good for Rui. So I'm really happy to see him, succeeding from a high level, especially out there, kind of completing his game.
Chase.
Hey, Corey. You individually have shot significantly better from 3 on the road this year than at home. I'm wondering, have you noticed that? And is there any rhyme or reason to it?
I have noticed it. I don't know why that's the case. Nothing really changes besides which bed I sleep in. So I can't, it might just be backdrop or, I don't know, the food we have or something like I've noticed it and I'm continuing to try to figure out why that's the case.
And just what made Josh Hart so difficult for you guys tonight?
Any good scorer and good player, when they see the ball go in the room and go in a lot in the first part of the game, gives that confidence. And he's really good at putting his head down and getting downhill. And when he can add in some threes, it's a really tough combo to stop. And, we kind of woke up a little late. And by the time we did, he was kind of off and running.
Christos.
Hey, Corey, hope you're doing well. In the game against the Clippers was Reggie Jackson. The game against the Lakers was LeBron, and tonight was Josh Hart. There's always a player who find confidence and have a great night against your defense. What did you see about that, and what is you need to do to improve your defensive effort during this for the next games? Actually,
yeah. I wasn't in here for Coach West's interview, but we talked about pride. Having a pride, in making, not just being there to try to guard somebody, but make them miss, and make them do what you want them to do rather than them just playing with freedom. And we've kind of been playing on our heels and letting really good players get in a really good rhythm. And, that's the case. Every team in this league has a really good player that can go for 40 each night. So if you give somebody enough rhythm and confidence to do it, they're going to take it. So we definitely need to be better on Monday. We play on Monday because there's a lot of guys over on the other side that can fill it up.
Thank you very much.
That's it, Corey. Thank you.
He's right. The biggest thing for me on the court is our communication. We lack that a lot, and then that caused like a trickle down for our defense. Guys are not in the right spot where they're supposed to be, or if they're in the right spot, they're not communicating. So next guy would know what to do. So it trickled down, and it tears our defense apart, and then we all just scrambling, each and every possession, and that can't keep happening. I don't think it's hard to just communicate your position. If you're in the position, you're supposed to make that call. You got to make that call regardless if your teammates hear you or not. You know what I'm saying? We still want to make that call. If they don't hear it or acknowledge your call, it's not your fault. You know what I'm saying? We still got to hear it. You got to be there in them spots, and I don't think we're never in the spots that we need to be.
The overall to KCP is one-on-one, someone's assignment in front of him.
I mean, it takes a lot of effort. That's where it starts. Our pride has to start. One-on-one defense, because a lot of teams are breaking us down and just going one-on-one a lot. So we got to be able to man up, and just take pride in just guarding our yard. Also knowing I got help behind me. That's a problem that we have as well. Is there's no help defense, or if it is, it's late. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about pride and care factor.
Is there anything that anybody can do, one person to rally everybody to get to that pride and care factor?
I would say, more just lead by example. Go show it. Feel like that could, get the energy going. Get the guys going. Just going out and just guarding your man one-on-one, containing him. I feel like that just, it's an effect. It happens. Now my teammate is ready to guard his guy. And he knows I'm gonna be in that help position. So it's just all about being connected out there, and sometimes we get lost a lot. That's just not really much frustration. It's just I want to win. I know my teammates want to win as well. But we all has to be on the same page, and I feel like for what I've seen, we're not. Sometimes it feels like we are on the same page on the court, and then sometimes it's just like we don't even know each other. We just out there playing, like pick up on the outside court, and that hurt us a lot.
Christos?
Yes, we hope you're doing well. What is the biggest issue that you have as a team, and how important is to finish strong? What do you need to do to finish strong this season?
Man, everybody got to buy in right now. I feel like, 16 games left, I want to say, maybe 15, 16 games. There's a chance to get into this play-in, and I feel like everyone should have that goal, and that mindset where we're not out of it yet. We still have a play-in tournament that we can squeeze our way into. But we all got to buy into just what Wes was saying, our communication, defense, effort, everything has to, it has to be together, a unit. And I think we get away from that, sometimes.
That's it, KCP. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.